Hello, everybody. It is Dee and Renee, and this week we are going to be highlighting Super Bowl Sunday, and we've seen a lot of that last night. We had Chef over on the Ideal Protein Facebook, and if you didn't have a chance to catch that, jump over there and you can watch it in the recorded version. I got to see it live. It was great. And then I saw Lisa Shaker Knop this morning. She had some awesome recipes that she was displaying over on her page, Shake It Off Weight Loss. So lots of great stuff for Super Bowl. And of course, Dee has created her own creations for this upcoming week. And then right at the end, I'm actually going to go over what we did in September, right at the beginning of football season. We did Game Time Part 1 and Part 2. So lots and lots and lots of things that you can do. Stay on protocol, stay focused, keep going down your journey. So I know that I'm out here in sunny California in Los Gatos. And if you are coming on here live or even in the replay, you know what I would love for you to do? If you're live, put hashtag live in the comment section. And of course, tell us where you're from, say hello. And if you're in the replay, put hashtag replay. So we can come back, we can answer questions. So Dee, tell us what your weather's like. The weather looks crazy around the country.
So the country's having crazy weather, but we're not today. Our weather is, Mother Nature's not well, actually, right now. We've been going from -20 to +6 in a 24-hour cycle. And we have not actually had our true winter yet. So I'm getting really, really worried because now we're at the end of January and I want spring to roll around the corner and our winter really hasn't settled in. So in southern Alberta here, it is normal for us to have wind chill in the -40s for quite a few weeks at a time, and we just haven't seen it this year. So I'm getting worried. Oh
my goodness. Wow. Okay, this is what hashtag live looks like, and awesome. June is online and she did exactly what I asked her to do.
Nice.
So if you're live, come on board. Tell us where you're from. And June is saying yum. Smorgasbord sounds good. Oh yeah. Candied salmon and protein wraps. That's right. Thank you for joining us from Fort St. John, British Columbia.
Nice.
Awesomeness. Okay, Dee, so I'm going to bring these up here, and these look amazing as usual. So here's your smorgasbord. Let's talk about this.
So, there are just so many things that you could create and make, whether it's for yourself or if you're, hosting a lot of company on game day. But I thought I would present to you as something a little bit different, something that could cover maybe everybody that's in your family or in your contingent. And one of the biggest things that I want to point out is that I'm supplying you with 3 different types of wraps to create your food within. And one is the simple lettuce wrap. We see that a lot in many, many ways to enjoy different types of lettuce wraps. The next is that I want to teach you all how to make really simple wraps from Ideal Protein products. There's so many different combinations and it can be done so simple to really intricate. But the simple ones still are fantastic and taste really good. And then the third one is jicama wraps. Now, we've seen jicama tacos, like we've done jicama tacos, and you've probably seen them online. But I want to teach you just a little tiny twist on how to make that jicama taco just even a little bit better so that they don't break, so that they're nice and flexible, so that you can fill them, pick them up, and eat them, and they have amazing flavor. And then of course there's all different kinds of varieties of the filling combinations pictured in each one of those. And so then we'll break that down a little bit for you.
Awesome. Well, this looks like, I went back for Cinco de Mayo to Sarah Mulera's back in May. Whoa, she also had a taco bar. This is awesome, you guys. I love it. So here we've got the jicama, and actually there's certain stores like Whole Foods out here does carry the jicama wraps, and I know that the HEB down in Texas carries them, but Dee made her own.
So we haven't found a local grocer that will slice them for us, and I haven't actually found any yet that are. It is something to put on my list to ask our produce manager about, is the pre-sliced jicama. Now, I don't mind slicing my own jicama. If you have a large mandolin, it is the easiest, or a very super sharp knife. But of course, be careful. And then I don't recommend buying jicamas larger than a large softball. Otherwise, you're going to have trouble handling it. Now, in the picture, it looks like there is some discoloration. So if you were going to cut into a jicama and it was that color, you know it's starting to rot. But my jicama is that color in the picture because those are actually pan fried to make it nice and soft. So when you have a nice, fresh, crisp jicama and you try to fold it in half, it will snap, it will break. But if you just gently saute it on both sides, then you can bend it and it'll hold like a taco. You can season them, or you can just leave them plain, and they're good both warm and cold. So another way to enjoy them.
And so in this picture, I know that you showed not only this whole taco bar, but your special taco seasoning.
Yeah. Yes, and I have a little twist on taco seasoning as well. So if you're using turkey or chicken, ground turkey or chicken, I love to add a teaspoon or so of poultry seasoning into my taco seasoning, and it's really good. And I like homemade taco seasoning. You need to control your garlic and your onion powders because they're high carby. So you have to be careful. You back off on those and you add a little bit more of others so that you have a low carb seasoning as well. And of course, no sugars. So in these types of seasonings that are listed are just great ones to have in your cupboard. And we're going to start focusing a little bit more on those types of things. Myself and Renee and some of our other fellow coaches have been talking about it might be more important to supply you of must-haves for your cupboards versus looking for things that you can have. So we'll start working on that for you to suggest herbs and spices that you should have handy in your cupboard to help create your meals. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And please know, Tammy, thanks for joining us. She is live from Nebraska. Cool. And we've got Peggy here. If you would take a minute to just hit the share button, and if you are a clinic, please share it on your Facebook page. And if you are looking for healthy recipes, this is a time of year where all your friends are getting healthy. So if you would share it out on your Facebook, we would love it, and it helps us grow our audience. And if you see something you really, really love, hit that heart button or the thumbs up button and let us know. All righty, so look at this.
So this is my version of a candied salmon. Super easy to prepare, super easy to marinate. The longer now I air fried this batch because my husband gave me an air fryer and I've been trying to air fry anything just to see how it turns out. So this candied salmon is marinated in Ideal Proteins maple syrup, Bragg's soy aminos, and just salt and pepper. That is it. Those 4 simple ingredients. However, I did marinate it for 48 hours and then I discard the marinade. So you're marinating the meat and then discard it. And so if you wanted a tender fish, not a drier one, then you would simply air fry on the fish setting for the recommended time. I actually turned it back on and went a little bit longer because I kind of like that traditional dried candied salmon texture on the salmon. So I should have actually taken a picture of it, flaking it apart, because you can enjoy this in, of course, any of the wraps provided, but just as a snack in your fingers, on carb-free crackers, anything will go. Just it's really good, really, really good. So
it looks tasty.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's see. Our next up is
cod. It's the lemon pepper cod. And this one, there is a I know that people love to coat things, which I'm not against coating things. I just want to give you some different recommendations on how to do it. So when you're using ideal protein, whether it's potato puree or pancake or crushing up the crackers, and lots of them call for egg or egg white, you can simply just moisten your meat with water and coat them as well, and the air fryer will cook them beautifully. So you can omit that step if you're not looking to add more ingredients or more protein as well. So once you just moisten your meat, so this picture actually has the potato puree with sugar-free lemon pepper spices in it. And this sugar-free lemon pepper spice was actually really hard to make, or find, sorry. I was going to make it myself, and then I found a brand, I do believe it was Mrs. Dash, but I did have to add salt to it because it was a salt-free one. So just remember to stay away from ones where you can read added sugar in your ingredients. And so salt and pepper, and then the lemon pepper blend. And if you read lemon pepper blend, it has about 15 spices in it. So on another day, I will break that one down for you, but this was a commercially done one. And again, air fried on the fish setting. This time I stopped at the recommended, I do believe it was 12 minutes, and it was perfect. The cod flakes part beautifully, and I cut them up, and they were delicious in all three of the tacos. Fish tacos, so you can have fish tacos, or again, just enjoy it as its own on the side with some veggies. The nice thing is that they're so crispy is that you can just have them on a plate and pop them in your mouth as well. So not messy at all. So great flavor and really easy to do. So the recipes that I'm giving you today are just really simple and fast, and just to give you, this is just a platform to give you ideas on how you can quickly prepare really nutritious food really fast. That is great finger foods, and then you can turn it into more if you need so. So yeah.
That's wonderful. And you can share with your family.
Yes.
So here's a couple of the different wraps. These I know are the potato pancake wraps that we created. And this was my favorite recipe out of all of today's recipes. And remember, we're going to go through like 3 shows today. So we're going to we're rolling through here quickly today. So tell us about the ceviche.
So there's so many types of ceviches out there, and you can have them on phase 1. You're just going to simply back off your oil or make your oil work within your day. Ceviche doesn't really need oil. You can also back off your citrus juices. So for example, we're not going to use orange juice because you can't have it on phase 1. You can still have a little bit of lemon and lime juice. You're just going to use less than what traditional recipes call for. Same with, most of these traditional recipes are going to have avocado in it. So if you're phase 1, 2, or 3, you're just going to leave that out for now. But, you can dress it up for phase 4. I love chilies. Like I love dried chilies, but you can put jalapenos in there. I love red onion. You can back off if you don't. This one has crunchy jicama in it. So that's something I wanted to touch on too. So I made jicama wraps. I still had a little bit of jicama left over. It is fantastic in cold salads. It's fantastic as a savory heated dish. But put whatever you're buying, put it to good use and maximize it. The great thing about the ceviche is that you could enjoy it on its own, but it was fabulous mixed with every one of the proteins today. So it tasted wonderful with the candied salmon, wonderful with the cod, and fantastic with the traditional taco ground beef as well. So
wow, that is awesome, Dee. So one of the things that Dee is going to be doing is she's going to be joining me in California on February 16 and 17. And you can join us online. We do have a special registration for our Refresh Retreat. And Dee's going to be cooking and Sarah's going to be cooking. We're going to have a bunch of workshops, but we would love for you to come and meet us personally. If you are here in Northern California, get over here. It's going to be at my clinic. but you can join us in our special group, and I'll put a link in there where you can experience Dee cooking and Sarah cooking, and we're going to be doing all kinds of baking, air frying, and weird vegetables and all kinds of stuff. So if that's of interest to you, put retreat in the comments section and I will definitely send you information, but I'll be posting it here later also. Okay, so Dee, this was, and back in September, all you have to do is scroll through our shows, but this was back in September, and Dee did a 2-part series of game time appetizers. And so I just thought, in addition to today's show, let's go through all of these awesome game time appetizers.
Yeah.
Here we go.
So this was my buffalo cauliflower dip. So it's a creamy cauliflower dip with buffalo heat. Those are chicken wings with the skin removed. So I pulled all this, you slice and rip that skin off there, and you can have a phase 1 chicken wing, and you can have it in creamy buffalo sauce. So again, a really simple, fast, you are simply blending down cauliflower and garlic, and you can use Tabasco or Frank's Red Hot, or there's so many different ways to design it, and have an awesome dip that works fantastic for protein, any of your pre-done chips or crackers that you may have made, and of course vegetables. So really versatile, easy, fast, keeps well in the fridge, great on day 2, great on day 3 as well. So, and if you have a house like mine, every day is game day. Like, I honestly feel like I could have just worn, you know, one of my kids' different team hoodies today. I could have drawn the lines under my eyes, really, because every day is sports day in our house, I'm telling you. Yeah.
Okay, what do we got here?
And so that was my warm crab dip that you could do warm or cold. Again, too, so you could fill celery boats with that, or you can scoop it up with your crackers or your assorted veggies. You could eat that in a wrap if you so wanted, again. So what we're trying to do here is just give you ideas that can encompass a whole bunch of different vehicles. You could enjoy that on top of other protein, let alone you know, with the pre-done IP chips that are already made, or you can make your own IP crackers just like we did with the wraps really easily. Sometimes just your baking time and how you spread them, you know, onto parchment paper will be the difference between having a wrap and a cracker. So yeah. A homemade fresh salsa, I love it, and there is so many different ways you can do it, which really this homemade fresh salsa really does remind me, it's similar to the shrimp ceviche. I like pico de gallos. I think we probably have a picture of that coming up too, where you can really design, there it is. They're wonderful additions to trays because you can control the type of select and unlimited veggies that you put in there. And so a little goes a long way, and something like the pico that you see here too, fantastic on top of chicken and fish and salads. So you can make a batch and you can scoop and dip with it, but you can also use it for toppers. And then especially on days where you're short on time or you need to cram in a few extra vegetables, I mean, you could take a cup of that and pour it over some romaine and have an awesome salad. So you can bake with, well, that one you can't because it has onions in it. But if you had another one done without onions in it, you could, you know, bake it on top of your meat or bake it into a meat and veggie casserole. So, and then, you know, IP there's 5 unrestricted chips now in their lineup. So great options for scooping too. So you can save your packets for, you know, not that we would recommend this on a day-to-day basis, but I mean, on game day, if you want to eat 3 different packets of IP chips, well, then go for it, you know. This worst could happen. This is a hot taco dip, which I really I love hot food, whether it's soups or dips or casseroles or just good hot dinner on the table. So this is hot taco dip. And again, you can customize it. You can vary a ton of vegetables in there. You could put IP mac and cheese in there, even if you needed a really cheesy taste. So many different ways to create things. So we will re-provide all of these options for you so that you can scroll through them and get ideas to make your own.
So this is show number 2. So again, go back to September and you are going to see the different shows. And what we're doing with our recipes now is they come out in a newsletter format each week. So we're doing our best to get them out on time and to get these recipes to you. So being able to send them to you in a newsletter format is better. And then you can download past issues also. Right. So if you put newsletter in the comments section, you're going to get a little Facebook message that's going to say, hey, do you want to subscribe? Make sure you type yes, I want to subscribe. But basically what you're doing is you're subscribing to our messenger. Then what you have to do is it's going to pop up and say, thank you for subscribing. And would you, please click here. So make sure you hit the button that says newsletter so that you can actually go to the subscription form. So I tend to get a lot of people, I have to kind of help them get to the newsletter form. So keep pushing through, type the yes, type the newsletter, and then you'll get the form. And just saying hi to a couple people. Vicky says, thank you for all your time and hard work. And yeah, Dee does all the work, trust me. I'm just over here taking, just putting it up on the screen. And June says you put your heart and soul into all these dishes. And yeah, our goal is really to share great stuff with you and make you realize that you can change the rest of your life. And if you choose to incorporate all these on a continual basis, every day, every year, you will make that lifetime change permanent, and you'll figure out how to have once in a while indulgences, but these things will become everyday staples. And that's really where we have to go. Right, Dee?
Yeah, and we want to make it easy for you. So if we can give you little ideas and sometimes we can make intricate things and they're fun or they might be fabulous, but it's not always necessary. So sometimes just the ability to make a fast, quick wrap, so that you can have a sandwich at lunchtime, those types of things, they can make packing lunches maybe easier, or you look forward to it a little bit more, or just there's not monotony in your day. So we're really trying to give you a lot of ideas to incorporate those vegetables so that by week 2, you're not coming back and saying, I'm bored. We don't want you to be bored. So we want to present you lots and lots of ways that you can enjoy your food. And sometimes simple presentation and spices are just a world of difference in that. So
that's true. That's true. So what do we have up here? I see a chayote there.
And I do believe this is our chayote chutney, which if you like chutneys and antipastos and those types of things, once again, a really good vehicle. That is on the apple savory sage bread, really yummy. And the chutney on the bread is delicious. It's like a sweet treat on a little bit of a savory bread. Now, lots of the bread recipes that we present as well, simply by changing the spices, you're going to change whether you have a sweet or savory bread. So really easy too. So.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesomeness. Okay, so we got some pretty jicama.
Yeah, so fun. So you simply slice and dice your jicama and soak it in your little bit of mangosteen or tangerine water. Makes wicked bright fun jicama. Jicama is wonderful raw. It is wonderful sweet or savory. So this one is a sweet version. Lots of fun to eat. Melissa Hozak did her pickles, her mangosteen pickles, where she puts mangosteen in a jar of pickles and turns her pickles pink, if you like sweet pickles. So that's where this idea came from. And the jicama soaks the mangosteen right up. So I know a lot of our dieters say that the tangerine is their favorite, but I prefer the mangosteen. It is my favorite. So that's why
I like them. I like them both, and sometimes I mix them together.
Nice.
What do we got here?
Oh, that was the pork tenderloin.
Ooh.
Wow.
How'd you make that?
Ooh, that one I just baked. It was a citrus bake. And pork tenderloin, everyone. Now, I know that there are some food groups that people avoid. Some people are scared of pork because they feel like it is a fatty meat, but pork tenderloin is as lean as chicken, as a chicken breast. And so a cut like this has no visible fat within it and no marbled fat within it. And when cooked properly, it is tender and melt in your mouth. You could even fool somebody that you do have chicken. And it slices paper thin really beautifully. So once again, serving it with other vegetables on top of, building layers with your IP crackers and vegetables and so on and so forth. Great cold the next day in wraps or sandwiches, or just as day 2 leftover meat. So I'm also a really big fan of preparing more than I need so that I don't actually have to cook every day. So I'm the type of cook that if I have something going in the oven, I like something going on top of the oven, and now I might have something going in the air fryer as well. I am still feeding a lot of other people. I say a lot of other people. I'm actually only really feeding 3 others right now because my oldest is away at university. But the one in grade 12 eats enough for 4 adults. And that is just a true story. And so I really, really like to have a lot of healthy choices in the house. It is a goal of his right now to not be a sugar burner as well, because he wants to be muscly. So it's important. So
it is important. And I have one of those at home too. He's turning 17 and heading to lacrosse practice.
Oh, yeah.
So this is your charcuterie board, is that right?
Well, this one is the rhubarb chutney. That's okay. This one's the rhubarb chutney, which again, I put them on the charcuterie boards because there is so they usually have dried fruit on them. And of course, we're avoiding fruit, but the chutneys are like having some dried fruit, and it can balance those boards with the sweet and salty. Our boards that I presented, of course, they're missing that really yummy fat that you can have in phase 4 in those meats. So it's a lean design, but again, to dip in the bread or even put on your source of protein is really, really good. So, I
love it. Love it. And of course,
good old roast. I should have sliced that one and showed you the inside of that sirloin tip roast because it is just a beautiful, it radiates pink out from the center. And the same thing, paper thin sliced meat on game day on trays is awesome. And so if you think of meat trays that come from your delis, and so they're all full of nitrates and MSGs and all sorts of things that you don't want to actually put into your body, you can replicate the exact same thing with things like the lean roasts and the lean tenderloins. And, you can get a lean batch of sugar-free sausage made from your local butcher too. We recommend that you keep those types of choices to, limit those to once a week because they have a little bit of a higher fat content, but still something that you could incorporate on special occasions or game days. So, yeah. Little goes
that's awesome. So if you guys are watching us live, please be sure that you tell us #live. And if you're in the replay, #replay. All right, finally, I found the charcuterie board.
Yes, so that is, that whole picture there is only 8 ounces worth of meat, and there's not even 2 cups of veggies on there, plus there's an IP pack on there, 2, because your bread is a pack, and then the seeds, which everybody here is really sad that the trail mix is back ordered right now because of those darn soy nuts are not available. So for right now, we have to wait on production of those. But you could have a board like that. There are the mangosteen pickles in the top corner. There is our chayote chutney. That's our apple sage bread slice there. I did mini loaves, so that's still only 1 serving that you see in that whole picture. And then there's 4 ounces of the roast and 4 ounces of the pork tenderloin. So you could share that with somebody and still have a whole nother go at a board like that again. So we just want to make presentation fun. So when I am not trying to take weight off, I am a sucker for a good charcuterie board. They just look so appealing to me all the time. They usually will have items such as like pickled beans and asparagus and olives and really decadent cheese. And I just tell them to leave the bread off. So if you're in maintenance, those types of things are still available to you. I don't tend to eat the dried fruit, but usually there's some nuts on it as well. So your creativity is your imagination is your only limit. So a lot of fun ways to eat your food. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And last but not least.
Yeah, those are those mangosteen pickles again.
Oh,
so,
that's right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We got the mangosteen pickles.
Yeah, that's Melissa Hozak's creation. I'm a garlic dill pickle girl. I don't like sweet pickles, but a lot of people do. And so I did make a batch for taste testing and picture purposes to share with all of you. And that's the color of them. So there is no Photoshop done in those colors. So it's kind of fun. Yeah.
So we had a question, and I'm not sure what this means. Vicky says, is there supposed to be a different PX than the roast? I'm not sure what PX means. Do you know what that means? Vicky, tell us what that means. So, maybe she means picture than the roast. I'm not sure what that means. Okay, everybody. So if you are watching in the replay, tell us that you're watching in the replay. And if you have questions for us, if you want the recipes, type the word newsletter. We are going to be back next week, and we are going to be talking about Valentine's. And if you didn't see last week's show, we did a lot of recipes on collagen, and they were kind of like Valentine's-y looking recipes because they had a lot of red in them. So join us for that, and we will see you next week. Thank you, Dee. Stay warm, or for all of you that are in cold temperatures right now, stay in your house, stay warm, stay safe, stay dry. See you soon.
Enjoy your game day, everybody. See you next week.
That's right.